my only option at that time was to retire.
What's up, everyone? Shakiel Mahjouri here for CBS Sports, and you know who this is. He is the UFC's number 8 ranked light heavyweight contender, fighting Alex Pereira for the UFC light heavyweight championship at UFC 307. Hitting the snooze on folks like I did on the alarm clock last night because the damn dog kept waking me up. But we're going to persevere. Khalil Rountree Jr., how's it going, my man?
It's going well. Thank you for asking. And thanks for the introduction. That was cool.
Cool. I'm happy. Hey, it's no Bruce Buffer, but you got to start warming up to this heading into our
Yeah.
first pay-per-view UFC title fight. Man, God, let's start there. I would love to know not just how you're feeling finally getting to this place, but can you sort of compare and contrast the emotions after you got that huge unexpected fight, at least from our end, against Jamahal Hill, and then unfortunately couldn't make it to the fight? I guess where were you after that Jamahal Hill cancellation, and then how did it feel to get the call that, hey, you're going to get the title shot?
Wow. I'd say that cancellation, there was a huge part of that that crushed me, especially because I just like everything was like so unexpected, and I've always tried to like just do my best to like, do everything the right way. And yeah, I just so happened to, get caught up in that mishap. But I was like super thankful that the UFC was just so understanding. And but there was a part of it where I was devastated. It was a very tough moment for me, but it was a very like eye-opening moment. And it also helped me to level up in different ways. I think that it caused me to be just like more focused and to take a little bit more control over just my life in general. So in order to kind of combat that feeling of being devastated, I just focused on training harder.
And what about when the UFC calls and says, hey, do you want to fight for the title? What's going through your mind?
It was 100% unexpected. Um, I thought that it would definitely be something else. Maybe they would, reschedule the fight that got canceled, but no, it was this one that they offered, and it came at the right time. Like it was like that ray of sun that just like peeks through like the cloudy skies. Like it was really crazy, very unexpected. But like I said, I was already training and still had my mind in the same place. So um, yeah, it just came at the right time. It was a godsend for sure.
I saw Jamahal Hill sort of breaking down this fight, and one thing that he did say to your benefit is that his assessment is that Pereira struggles with southpaw fighters, specifically southpaw fighters that present numerous striking weapons. Do you agree with his assessment that Alex kind of struggles more with southpaw fighters?
Um, I mean, I'd prefer not to comment on anybody else's assessment, but you know,
Ready for fight night?
cool.
All right, you know what? I like keeping the cards close. I will say though, I saw John Wood talking about this fight, and he's like, Khalil's not shooting for the takedown. If anyone's going for the takedown, it's Pereira. Now, obviously, we train for all aspects of MMA, but what is it about? What is it about your approach to the fight game that I guess encourages you, even when paired up against a striker of equal grade, of similar caliber, and Alex Pereira? What makes you want to commit so much to the striking game?
Well, I think for one, this is, the highest level fight that I've had in my career. So there'll be the most eyes on, on this fight, especially for my fans. I think this is something that a lot of my fans are happy about. And I think people are fans of me because of the way that I fight. So part of that approach is just giving people what they pay for, like when people pay to watch me fight, or if they know that I'm on a card, they kind of know what to expect, and that's just my style. And so, a part of that approach is, yeah, I think I owe it to the fans to give them the best me. And yeah, now, yeah, there are many different styles and strategies to winning this game, which I understand. Um, and I'm very clear on going for the win. But I'd love to go for the win in a way that excites my fans and excites, the world really.
I'm glad to kind of see us getting some consistency and stability at light heavyweight because for around the time that I kind of became a fan, like light heavyweight was the division, right? We're talking Rampage, a bunch of guys that you got to star in the
Yeah,
movie,
John Jones,
and
Rashad
John
Evans.
Jones,
Yeah,
Rashad Evans, Forrest
yeah,
Griffin. I would like from you very quickly, especially coming off like what is it, 4 knockout wins and 5 fights.
yeah.
Who are your 4 Mount Rushmore hardest light heavyweight hitters?
Ooh, um, hardest light heavyweight hitters. Uh, Rumble Johnson,
Oh, R.I.P.
Chuck Liddell,
Mhm.
hmm, Rashad Evans. I feel like he had some smoke. He fought out at light heavyweight now a
Yeah,
few
yeah, yeah.
times, I believe
Plenty.
so. Um, and then if we're talking about hard hitters, yeah, Rumble Johnson, Chuck Liddell, Rashad Evans, Vanderlei Silva.
Oh, great choice with the Axe Murderer. Okay, interesting.
Yeah,
No current guys in there, but I do love the legends, so shout out to them.
yeah. Yeah.
You mentioned it off the top. I guess we both did. There was obviously the tainted supplement that you self-reported that was ingested. 2 parts. I guess first, this was I guess one of the more recent examples of sort of drug regulation under the combat sports anti-doping body, the UFC's body. What was your experience like dealing with them? Now I know we haven't had other. I don't think we've had other failed tests, but what was the experience like working with them relative to USADA?
Um, well, for one, they they were super helpful, like just super helpful in like telling me exactly what they needed from me, from like, you know, statements from this company, times, they were just pretty thorough in saying like, hey, this is exactly what we need in order to look at this, and like to look at this correctly. So like provide us with all the details. So very responsive. They were just on top of it. I think and because it's through the UFC, it feels a lot closer to home in a
Mm,
sense. Like, they're just it just things operate, just fast. I'd never had any situation like this, so I can't really compare what it would be like, versus USADA. But from my experience, it just these guys were on point. I wouldn't be able to really tell a difference, but they were very, very professional and on point.
let me preface this next part by saying I've got no complaints here. From the reports, tainted supplement, not enough to cause any sort of significant performance enhancement. Self-reported, et cetera, et cetera. I gotta say, I saw some eyebrows raising when the Nevada Athletic Commission gave you a 4.5 month suspension that ends just before UFC 307. What was
Hmm.
going through your mind when that ruling came down? You're like, oh, I guess the fight's still on.
Yeah, I mean, it was good. It took time. It really did take time to get the athletic commission to see the same thing that the UFC
Mm,
saw. You get what I mean?
yeah.
I feel like, the athletic commission, Nevada State, they deal with, everything boxing. They deal with every single case. And not to say that they overlook any cases or don't give things like, the same amount of effort or time looking into it. But I think they finally got to a point where they're like, oh, okay, we see exactly what this
Mm,
is. I think in the beginning they didn't really understand. I think they thought that like I took a banned substance and just self-reported, but they didn't see all of the other details that came with it. And so I think that one of the things that they did mention in the commission hearing and decision was that they they pretty much like applauded me for self-reporting, like thank you to like for coming to us with this with all the details that you did. So now, there's no way that we can really give you the base level kind of like 9, 6, 12 month penalty because like we see that there's really nothing that you did wrong here, you know? And so it was great. It was like I said, man, I'm just really grateful. Like all of this stuff is pretty much like out of my control.
Totally.
Um, and the fact that it all has worked out the way that it has, I'm grateful. Yeah.
Do you think, I know there's a lot of guesswork involved, but if you had to guess, would you say you got like a top 10 golf swing among the UFC roster?
Top 10 golf swing. I don't even know 10 fighters in the UFC that golf.
Golf.
So I'd say, yeah, I'm up there.
I like it. I like it. You got the weight on too today, so you're dressed for the occasion.
Yeah.
Couple things as we wrap up here. I and thank you, for being so well spoken, so candid, so detailed. It's interviews like this I really like doing. I love career trajectories like yours because it's not padded, it doesn't come easy, and we're looking at Khalil Rountree now fighting for his first UFC light heavyweight title on the best winning streak of his entire career. I know that in 2019 I had read that you had sort of considered retiring during sort of your ups and downs. What was going through your head at the time, and what would have the exit plan been like for you? Like, where would we be today if not fighting for the title?
Yeah. That decision really came from a level of like chasing happiness.
Mm,
I was living in Thailand at the time. I had everything that I felt like I needed there. It gave me this perspective in a way that like life could be a lot more simple, and I didn't really need all of the things that in like at the time I felt I needed. Big house and just all these things that I was kind of in my mind working towards. Living in Thailand kind of changed that perspective for me. So, and then that's where the birth of like my real love and respect for Muay Thai came. And I wanted to fight and compete in Muay Thai, but I can't
mm,
do that if I'm under the UFC, if I'm under contract. So it was really just kind of a time in my life where my only option if I wanted to pursue fighting Muay Thai and kind of just living a little more simple life in Thailand, my only option at that time was to retire because
I
I,
see.
I couldn't have done it under contract. So where we would have been now, who knows? I could have, I would have continued to fight, but I made the right decision and I had clear intentions when shifting that decision to retire. I I made a commitment to myself that, I'd take the opposite route and I would just commit to MMA and UFC um, with everything I have in with the goal in mind of becoming champion and nothing else past that. Like my vision stopped there,
Well, not sorry to play like armchair psychologist here, but can I put out the idea that maybe come into peace with that and understanding that MMA isn't the end all be all of life? Is there a degree of comfort with that that kind of lets you put your best foot forward, sort of unshackled by, I don't know, the stress or the anxiety of it?
Mm, that's really hard to say. I mean, like I think MMA is not the end all be all, but it for like I had to make the decision of like for now it is.
Mm,
You know what I mean?
yeah.
Like I'm 100% committed and that's why I'm on the trajectory that I'm on now and in this position is because I'm 100% committed to this. And I'm committed to it with the intention of having time after to live a different type of life. I still want to, have a family and I still want to travel, and I think that this is going to, help me with things like that in the past or at least allow me to have the life that I want when I'm 60.
Okay. Well, the next time we do this, Khalil, I want to talk, as much as the focus is MMA, I want to scale back a few minutes off the MMA. I want to know about some of the things you want to do, some of the places you want to travel, some of the stuff you're doing
Mm,
when you're not fighting. But I gotta let you go. So I want to leave you with the last word very quickly for me. Guys, thanks so much for watching the video. Subscribe, tap the bell, thumbs up. Give us your prediction. Alex Pereira versus Khalil Rountree Jr. that headlines UFC 307 on Saturday. Khalil, if there's anything you want to tell the people, the floor is yours, friend.
Hey, power to the people. Let's do this. All my fans, anybody who's watching me, anybody who's new to watching me, I hope that you're excited for this as much as I am. And yeah, take care.